to what she said, that, if the requirement is of 10 engineers in a boardroom, for example, and, we have 100 men out there to be picked up from, and 10 women engineers to be picked up from. Having a 5 each is not fair to anyone, right? So we need to have those 100 engineers to pick up from a women's sector also. And that is where we need to prepare the journey part, the ground rule, where we need to have more women who are ready and to be taken in that role. Yes, if 2 out of those 5 are coming, I think what is very critical for all organization is to maybe the story, that women's story, to be told louder, to be celebrated in a bigger way, because it has to be an inspiring story so that we can start building that 100 of women engineers. But it has to be well deserved on credibility, on confidence, and on performance, and not on gender. Yeah.
Add to the talent pool. That's exactly what she said, that if you do that, that story which comes out, it will help build the talent pool of women down the line.
Yeah.
If I may just add, and I want to talk about something Dr. Nirukumar said, and I really, really believe in that. I'm the sponsor of DEI in my organization, Group M, and I'm the first woman on the board of Group M, okay? And Dr. Nirukumar gave that lovely example of the 3 steps, wherein, diversity is great, and diversity is not just about gender. Inclusivity is great. It means, bringing everyone along. But what is important is equity, okay? Many times, as board members or women who reach the top, we become very defensive. And then we tend to forget what happened to us in our journey, in our past. And then we want rules for everybody to be the same. You cannot have the same rules. Equity is very, very important. And thank you for reminding us about the Dr. Nirukumar.
I want to come to the exact same point, and referring to one of the interviews you had given, where you had said that in order to provide more opportunities for women leaders, we have to ensure that women talent is nurtured within the organization, keeping the work environment safe, zero tolerance to sexual harassment at workplace, eliminating gender bias, providing equal opportunity, being sensitive, and also this point that we mentioned, being sensitive to lifestyle changes like motherhood, encouraging mothers to return to work. Flexible work policies are some of the initiatives that we need to encourage at more and more organizations. Now, you have adopted that. Do you also believe that being a woman boss on the board helps to be more sensitive towards these changes and executing them? And why is this something that must go across the board?
I do not know whether being a woman boss makes me more sensitive. Sensitive, certainly, yes. But it doesn't make me any less of a taskmaster. And it's not a good or a bad. If you know, there are 2 ends of the spectrum, tough and love. Okay. So certain things that we, as in our organization, we have inculcated, and I have quoted all of those with so much of pride because we are following those in our organization, are also the policies saying that conflict, the conflict when you're a 40-year-old, or let's say end 40s and early 50s, when you're already sitting in the board, are very different from the conflicts that women face every day. There are everyday issues which a woman goes through, everyday conflicts. And there are life stage conflicts, like when you return after giving birth, after you get married, you need to go early because you have domestic responsibilities as well as your work responsibility. So therefore, giving lip service and saying that, we need to do this, we need to do that is not enough. One should also be conscious. There are only so much that one can do at the workplace. What happens when a person goes back home? It's not something you are in control of. What happens when a girl boards the metro or a bus? It's not something that you can control. All you can control is what you do in the workplace. Some of the things, we as board members, we do to help us be more sensitive, not just to gender, but to other things, is this entire policy of reverse mentoring. So I have a mentor who would be a 27-year-old man who teaches me about their conflicts, their life, and on something that I'm not great at, let's say technology. So reverse mentoring is a great way in which you can sensitize board members, talk to them about your problems. I feel corporate governance, of which we are talking about, is incomplete when you only look at certain age cut, or by the time you are a CEO, it takes time. It is important that you have an advisory council of women between the ages of, let's say, 30 to 35, 40, because they have a different viewpoint of the everyday conflicts, of the conflicts of lifestyle changes. And those are some policy changes we need to bring. And I for one, am not sure whether mandating, you need to have so many number of people and so many number of women on the board is the right or the wrong thing to do, But intuitively, I feel, and I'm someone who loves giving examples. If we look at two sets of school, one where it only has male teachers and the principal is a woman, and another set of school where you have the teachers are male and female, and the principal could be male or female, doesn't matter. I would suspect the latter would do much better than one where you only had men as teachers. Okay, it is not just about making a woman the CEO. It is about how you bring the four principles that of corporate governance through making everyone in the board sensitive. I think, and I have written in the same interview that you're quoting for, if you highlight the difference between men and women, nothing will be achieved. When you harp on the commonality between men and women, and you say that, we are partners in this together, that is when you will bring true change, whether it's policy or otherwise.
If I may just add, and I'm saying it out of experience, while we're talking about gender equality, I think as a part of nature and nurturing of women, we all have been brought up in a certain way. I definitely feel, and saying it with experience, a woman not only brings spark in a boardroom, but I think she's far more efficient, productive, and somewhere right now I think it's the brighter side of that guilt that she carries, that she has to pack so much in a day, which makes her more productive. So I think that's the brighter side, but not saying that she has to carry on with that guilt forever. But yes, women definitely. So I strongly feel that if they are given the right push at the right stages, their capability to run faster is far higher, and the journey will be much shorter to get the right balance of gender in the boardrooms on merit.
But Hema, at a point where we are talking about gender equality,